Hello and welcome back to another Multiversus video. And today I got something special that I've been working on for quite some time. A special little Multiversus challenge. I call this challenge the 7-Day Main Series, where I take a character that I don't play or barely have played in Multiversus, play them for a week in ranked, and at the end see where my rank lies and how far my skills have come. Basically, this is your usual fighting game video essay style video. But there are a few important rules to note. First, and most obviously, I can only use the main character that I'm playing as. I can't switch characters, because that would kind of defeat the purpose of the whole video. Second, I have to play ranked 2v2s, which you may ask, wait, why not 1v1? Doesn't that make more sense? Why would you solo queue? And to that, I would say Multiversus is a 2v2 game at its heart, so that's the way I want to experience it. And in my eyes, if I can carry myself and a bad teammate, then I will have successfully gotten good. And I mean, that's really it for the rules. So, which character will I be playing as? Well, you saw the thumbnail and the title and all that stuff, so you should probably know that it's Superman. Just because of his prestige skin. I just saw it, I thought it looked dope, now I want to play Superman. So that's what we're doing. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, day one was a little rough. I'm already not great at Multiversus, more of a casual let's have fun type of guy, but this was a rude awakening for me, and what the next 7 days would hold in store for me. Well, actually, it kind of started off great. Our first 2 matches were losses, but they weren't even close. I mean, 51 damage, man, really? Come on. But then we got a nice little 3-win streak aided by a helpful AFK player. Then we had match 7. Match 7 had me feeling a certain type of way, like being good with Superman. What else did you think I was gonna say? I mean, I was diving, I was ducking, I was grabbing, and I was grabbing again. I mean, seriously, look at this. This is my first day as a Superman main, and I already got a nice little 4K. It also made me pretty happy because I felt like I was using Superman's grabs pretty well. Like really playing off stage and on the far side of the screen, so any grabs I do happen to get can KO at a nice low percentage. I felt fantastic, and I really thought there for a couple of seconds that maybe this wouldn't be too bad. Maybe I could hit a high rank pretty easily. But man, this game, it finds a way to humble you. After the spectacular showcase of Superman ability, just ignore all the attacks I missed, I proceeded to go on a 9-loss streak. You don't believe me? Well, here it is. I was just getting absolutely wrecked. Now, as discouraging as this is, I just thought to myself, hey, this is day 1 of 7. I'm already pretty bad, so just roll with it. And I did. Until we had eventually won one more set at 3 AM to push us over into Bronze 4. So we ended our first day of our 7-day Superman main journey at Bronze 4 and ranked as the 1684th Superman in 2v2. I also, with the power of editing, was able to actually look at my matches after I played them as I'm putting this video together. And there are a couple things that I want to note and really work on over the course of this week. For starters, I tend to use dodge as more of a movement tool and not to actually, dodge. Not exclusively as a movement tool, but I notice I just use my dodge to get back into the fight a lot more than saving my dodge meter for, something important. I also tend to just have a habit of just rushing into the next fight. Not really looking for like a good opportunity to get hits in, just kind of letting myself get smacked around. So tomorrow I want to play a little bit more patiently and really just not take any unnecessary damage if I don't need to. So with that in mind, and with a good night's sleep, we head into day 2. Day 2, after analyzing my matches from day 1, honestly went a lot better. I sadly once again didn't have too much time to play, but I made a lot more progress. We started off the day with an amazing match where I got a nice 3K and really put into practice what I wanted to from yesterday. I was going up against another Superman, and I really felt like I was doing a better job paying attention to my spacing and finding when I could get my offense in. I was also really paying attention to my dodging and trying to save my dodge meter and, only really dodge when I absolutely needed to. And for the most part, it worked, and I was able to not put myself in the burnout, get that 3K, and win the match. This led to another couple quick wins, bringing us into Bronze 3. On the road to Bronze 2, I had another match where I could really feel how impactful simply just being more patient and paying more attention to your dodge meter could be. I also started to experiment more with Superman's combos in this match. On day 1, I wanted to keep it simple. I would try to win my jab exchanges where I could and do my full jab string. I would also try to abuse Superman's numerous armored attacks and go for those big KO hits. But I knew this wouldn't work forever. So when I did successfully space myself correctly and land my jabs, I would try out different enders. It seems like his up ground normal is pretty good and will KO my opponent when they're around like 100, maybe like 110-ish, 115-ish damage. His ground down normal seems to be pretty good for longer combos, which I kind of figured out today during these matches. But I did make a note to look into it further in the lab and figure out some stuff in practice mode tomorrow. But just for these couple matches, I kind of just, went with it and did a little bit of longer combos, but I definitely see that there's room for expansion there. Anyways, it was a good match where I've actually did the highest amount of damage out of any match so far at this point at 298 damage. After this, we had the longest loss streak of the night at 4 losses, which is less than half of the previous day, so I will take it. It was a lot better. Then we got a quick set win against a LeBron and Jason to bring us up into Bronze 2. Now look, I don't know if it's the matchmaking, if really taking my notes to heart and really focusing on getting better, or if I'm just getting lucky, but I won a lot more matches today than I did yesterday, and it feels great. From Bronze 2 to Bronze 1, we had nothing but wins. Nothing but W's. It might be a small thing, but as someone who doesn't really play ranked modes too often and considers themselves really not too great at the game, this felt incredible. It also felt like analyzing my matches and taking notes was really helpful, which was pretty motivating. But with this win streak going, we get into Bronze 1. We finally hit Bronze 1, and we're just so close to getting out of Bronze and getting into Silver. But at about this time, it was getting pretty late, so I decided to play just one more set in Bronze 1 just to see what would happen, and I lost. I did not win. So I decided to head to bed, get some rest, and prepare for the next day of ranked ahead of me. Day 3 started out with something a little different, the lab. Since starting this ranked journey, I haven't really gone into practice mode too much, mostly just been learning as I do. But I do realize the higher up I climb, the harder things are going to be, and I'm going to have to practice eventually. So I started now. I also looked up some Superman guides on YouTube, because even though I'm a content creator, it's not going to stop me from using all the resources at my disposal to get good. These videos here I found to be useful, and if you're wanting to play Superman and get better, these videos will be linked in the description and are a good place to get started. The day started off great. The first set I played, I got back-to-back 4Ks, which made me feel pretty good. And like the time I've been spending researching and in practice mode has been worth it. I was really starting to see my efforts at work. I was using down tilt after the first 2 hits of my jab string to extend my combos and to put out more damage when I do manage to win my jab exchanges. I was also getting a lot of mileage out of Superman's pretty good dash attack. If I saw an opponent was at high damage and was still playing aggressively, I would just simply bait out an attack and then whiff punish with the dash attack, and that would usually KO them or at least get them out of my face if they were at like more of a lower percent. But yeah, I've been getting some work out of the dash attack. After that first set was one of the most intense sets of my journey so far. The first match was kind of a blowout, not gonna lie. I spent the first half of it whiffing pretty much everything I threw out, and then before I knew it, they were up by 2, and then the match was over. But the second match, however, went a lot better. My teammate and I did a better job at separating the enemy team. I was on the Wonder Woman, and they were on the Superman. I think I did a better job at spacing and really just being oppressive and not giving the Wonder Woman many opportunities to be aggressive and get their offense going. So I did some of the combos I practiced to build up damage, and then I finished them off with some well-placed grabs for the win. I absolutely got walloped the third match. If it wasn't for the enemy Superman KOing himself and my teammate being a really good Bugs player, I don't know if we would have won it. But either way, we won this pretty intense set, and I walked away from it relieved that I won and more open to what I still need to continue to work on. I find that if the team is playing together and they're staying grouped up and no one's really extending, that I still have the habit of just running myself at them and running into a brick wall basically, which I need to pay more attention to and I need to just stop doing. Right after that set, we went into another and I lost, which normally wouldn't be that big of a deal. But it's the moment I discovered that in every rank outside of Bronze, you lose MMR after each loss, which I thought started happening in Gold. So this was the kind of oh crap moment where I discovered that the journey through Silver might not be as easy as I thought it would be, knowing my luck and how bad I can play sometimes. Preceding that loss was a series of back and forth sets. I would win a set, then I would lose a set. Then I would win a set, then I would lose a set. It went like this for a while, but since I was only losing about like 5 RP per loss and gaining about 25 per win, I was slowly climbing my way out of Silver 5, until it eventually happened on this set against the Powerpuff Girls and a Bugs Bunny. We finally hit Silver 4, which I thought was a good stopping point for the night. So I went to bed thinking about the next day of ranked, because as we climb in a rank and my opponents get harder and harder, I'm not sure where I stack up exactly, because we lose MMR now, so I can't go on those big like 9 loss streaks anymore. I gotta really, batten down the hatches and play better. Before we start day 4, I'm gonna go ahead and do the YouTube thing of saying, hey, if you're enjoying the video so far and you want to see this type of video again, but with a different character, don't forget to leave a comment down below letting me know that you want more and what character you want to see me play next. And of course, if you're enjoying this video and you want to see more Multiversus content, don't forget to click that subscribe button so you can get notified when I upload new Multiversus videos and challenges and all of that stuff. Day 4 was filled with that silver grind, and there are 2 main sets that I want to talk about. The first set was hype. It felt really close, and my team and the enemy team were just like neck and neck. The first match didn't go great for me though. I spent most of it getting blown up because of my habit of just running back into the enemy face first and just dodging into them to try to get back into the fight. I kept doing that, which I'm getting better at noticing and pointing out now, which is good. There was one sequence where I felt like I made every right read, which felt really good, but overall, it was a rough match and a loss. The next match, however, went a lot better. My teammate and I did a much better job of separating the enemy team and isolating them and fighting them that way, which we had a lot more luck with. I also noticed that in the first match, the enemy Batman would really like to just go for those big swing like KO moves. So, to counter that, I really just started abusing the armor that Superman has on a lot of his moves, which led to a couple ground up normal KOs to win the match. For match 3, my strategy stayed the same, but this time I spent most of the match chasing down the Powerpuff Girls. I continued to try to use my armor moves to KO and to win trades. And while I was chasing down the Powerpuff Girls, I was using the aerial side special grab a lot, which was pretty fun, because they were just kind of hauling ass, running away, and I was chasing after them. It was a really fun match. Anyways, my teammate finished off the Batman, and we won the match, which put us 7 RP away from Silver 3. Which wouldn't matter too much, because in the next match, we ran into an AFK player, their teammate conceded, and we got into Silver 3. After that, we loaded into the second big set of Day 4 against a Banana Guard and the Powerpuff Girls. The first match came down to the wire. Both teams ended up going to match point at the exact same time, and the enemy team was doing a really good job at playing together. But with a successful air grab, we managed to KO the Powerpuff Girls for the win. The second match was not pretty, and one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this set. I got absolutely destroyed this match. Now, I know I've talked about my bad habit of just running into stuff, but it really happened here. The enemy Banana Guard was just straight up farming me for damage. He was just raising his stats. He was just poking his little spear out, just sending it out for me to run into, and I did almost every single time. Which gave me something to think about as we lost and we're loading into the final game of this set. Game 3. I knew I had to have a game plan or I would just run into the enemy Banana Guard again, which I really didn't want to do. So I started searching for ideas. A lot of the times in fighting games, I see people get mad at spam, which is fair because it's annoying and nobody wants to be annoyed when they're just trying to play a game. But there's always, or at least almost always, a counter. This Banana Guard is just mashing his charge and jab, and I know it's coming, and I didn't do anything about it in that second match, which is on me. That's my fault. So I looked at my character, I looked at their toolkit, and I thought, what can I do in this situation? And of course this circles around to his armored attacks, which I think are really the highlight of Superman's kit. Now I just want to point out, in case anyone is newer to fighting games, or if any of my friends is watching that I've tried to get into fighting games, hey, talking to you. There's always an answer to spam, you just gotta find it. And I really feel like on this journey I've gotten a lot better at reading players and adjusting mid-set to counter, which I just wanted to point out because that's what this video is about, my journey as Superman. Anyways, through abusing Superman's armored attacks and making a couple good reads, we win the match and thus win the set. After that set, it was a series of back and forths. I lost this set because my AFK teammate conceded, and I technically lost this set because my game crashed. But eventually we pulled it together and hit Silver 2, which I felt was a good stopping point for the night. So far, I feel like this has been exactly what I expected. We're a little over halfway through the week, and we're about where I thought we would be. I'm shooting to end this challenge in gold. That's where I think I play at. That's where I think I belong, is probably somewhere like gold 2, gold 3. And it looks like that is definitely doable. But any higher than gold, I think I'll really be testing myself, which hopefully we make it there and I get that chance. Day 5 ended up being a bit of a slog, and the first day my mental came into question. It was just loss after loss after loss. Sometimes I was messing up and just making dumb mistakes, or I was being impatient and rushing in, or sometimes I would just straight up have bad teammates. But either way, we lost a lot of matches today. On a technical level, today really brought out the flaws I still have in my gameplay. For starters, I am just straight up terrible offstage. I noticed that almost every offstage interaction I had tonight, I lost. I either chose the wrong options, got spiked, or I let my attacks go too early so they missed. I'm still seeing signs of impatience, which is getting better, but it's still there. I think I just need to simply practice being off stage more. I kind of just avoid going off stage just to play it safe because I know I'm not good at it. But the only way to learn how to do something is to do it. So I think I just need to incorporate being off stage more into my gameplay. Or when I see opportunities to go for those big off stage plays, I think I just need to take them more so I can start learning and get some more experience with that. Also noticed that my teammates and I lost a lot of what I like to call group exchanges. I don't know if there's a term for them or not, but it's like, you know, when everyone rushes to a little mosh pit on one part of the stage and everyone just starts swinging, like those type of encounters. Now, I really don't have a solution for how to win those yet, other than to just be better with my spacing and avoid getting put in those situations in the first place. But what do you think? How do you handle with those like big team scramble situations in your matches? You know, give me some advice down below. Then we have Superman's charged aerials, which I started to mess around with a little bit more. Normally, I wouldn't charge it. I would just move in, let my aerials rip as fast as possible so it could always land or at least sync up to like how fast I was moving. But maybe it's not all about speed. I started holding my charge for longer and really playing with the timing, like letting it go early sometimes to introduce the aerial threat and holding the charge after that to bait out the dodge and punish. Not too much to say other than that, just that I unlocked this new level to my Superman gameplay, and it's been a lot of fun messing with the aerials so far. I love changing timings and just messing with people and messing with their patterns and stuff, so it's been a lot of fun. And honestly, practicing the aerials and learning more tricks with that was the highlight of day 5. Now, those were my observations. As for the matches, like I said earlier, there were a lot of losses. For example, the day started off with 4 straight losses, which was cool. After that, we had a really hyped set against Jason and Taz, and then for the rest of the night, it was just a slow climb. But eventually, after 32 matches in this session, that's right, I played 32 matches, we made it from silver 2 to gold 5, which is where I decided to end the night. We hit gold, we got out of silver. I think that's a good stopping point. Day 6, our first day of gold, was actually pretty okay. It was a lot of back and forth sets like normal, but definitely a lot more on the win side. And the losses that I did take felt like they were really close. Like close enough where every match I played today, I think I could have won if I adjusted sooner or maybe made a different read. But yeah, all the matches today were fun, which after the slog of yesterday was pretty awesome. The night started out great, with a quick first set win where the enemy team decided to concede, which was some nice easy RP. After that, we had a pretty nice set against a Shaggy and a Morty. This was actually one of the first Mortys I've come across in ranked, which I thought was weird. I figured he would be a little bit more popular. Anyways, it was a close win. I definitely was getting caught off guard by some of the Morty's attacks, like I just don't have the matchup knowledge and was just getting hit a lot. But I started paying more attention and doing a lot better against the Morty. The Shaggy, however, I did alright against. I would have done better, but I kept just running into Shaggy's sidekick, which I eventually corrected, but yeah, definitely still running into stuff. But I got around him and managed to land an air grab to secure the KO and the match. The next match is just a masterclass of things that I do wrong. Like somehow during the loading screen between last match and this match, I just forgot how to play. I was just running into stuff, dodging immediately and not paying attention to the timing, and getting hit with Shaggy's sidekick a lot. I kept trying to do my aerial side grab to grab him out of it, but the kick beats it, and after the third time I finally got it through my head. But yeah, definitely not adjusting as fast as I should be. And I just wasn't playing well, making mistakes, and we lost. But that's okay, because I know this set is winnable, and I now have 2 full matches of knowledge on them. So, let's get into match 3. I started the match by trying some edge guarding stuff. I got the Morty to the edge and really practiced my patience, waiting to see how the Morty was returning to the stage and which direction he was going. So, I waited and punished with my armored attacks, which eventually led to a quick first KO. After that, it was pretty much an even match with both sides trading exchanges. I did notice that I was panicking while trying to dodge Shaggy's up special when he would go for it, which I really need to work on. I was just dodging early and getting hit. So I just need to remain calm, since after all, it's pretty obvious most of the time when someone is going for an up special, so I just need to be patient, wait for it, and dodge when I need to. Eventually, I managed to KO the Morty, and we won the set. After this, I traded sets again for a while, but we ended the night on a pretty good couple of matches. Like, there weren't any big standout plays, but I just feel like I played really well. It was one of those matches where I felt in the zone. I was reading the Samurai Jack, like when he would go in and punishing him correctly. I was landing my combos and doing them right, being patient and waiting to see when I should punish or dodge. I'm just starting to feel things come together. Like, things are finally starting to click. I don't think I was like a bad player before we started this little experiment, but now I feel like I'm a lot better, and I'm playing really well, and doing all these things that I didn't even know I should be doing. But yeah, we win the set, putting us into Gold 4 before the final day of this journey. Today is the day, the final day of this challenge, day 7. The goal for today is pretty simple, hit Gold 3. When I started this challenge, I hoped I was a gold player, but I felt like a silver player, so I've already outdone what I thought I would do, and to solidify that, I just want to make it to the middle of gold, which I don't think should be too hard. But we've had some pretty sloggy back and forth days before, so I'm not getting my hopes up too much. Which was a mistake, because day 7 started off strong with a nice little win streak of 6 match wins. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but 4 out of the 6 days I've played started with a loss streak. So I'm happy about this little win streak, so just, let me have this, alright? Our first couple of matches were pretty incredible. I think I've really nailed down when I should be going for my armored moves. Like, I've just gotten better at reading my opponent's approaches and when I think they're going to commit. Which, safe to say, with Superman, that makes him do a lot of work. Which I did, scoring a 3 KO and a 4 KO on our first set of the day, really just starting off with a bang. It was also just a really fun set. There was an enemy Superman, and it was nice dueling with him. Superman was definitely one of my problem matchups before I started playing him, but after this week I feel like I have a really good understanding of Superman's game plan and how to counter it. Glad to see that other than having a good time and making a video, I'm also just putting in the time and getting the game knowledge to use in the future, which is pretty nice. I also started experimenting more with canceling Superman's ground up special. Like, sometimes I would cancel the move at the top into an up air tilt to secure a KO, or maybe after the first hit after coming down, I would dodge and go into a jab string and start a combo. Definitely one of Superman's more interesting moves that I wish I would have went a little deeper into than just, oh, it does big damage and has some armor. Canceling this move and what you can do with it leaves the room open for so many cool plays that I didn't get to make. Other than that, I think I really refined some previous elements of my game. For example, sometimes when people were above me and they'd be coming down, I would go for my ground up tilt since it has armor and can tank / punish a lot of aerial down moves, and they would land on me, but I would be facing the other side, like the wrong direction, and barely miss them. Even though they were still above me, the way the hitbox is, I would just, barely whiff. But I definitely fixed that today and landed a lot more of those attacks. Also, really use the air grabs today. If someone was around 110 or 120, I was going for that grab, okay? Especially near the edge, where I could easily just confirm the kill, I was going for it. I'm finding that particularly in the air, it beats a lot of moves, and the ones it doesn't are pretty clear, so after losing the trade a few times, you kind of get it. It also makes you feel like part of that Superman fantasy, just soaring through the air, beating up on baddies. It was really fun. And I just like the grabs. Playing grapplers are pretty fun. That's like why you play them, is because they have grabs. And Superman has 2 grabs. And I felt like today I was definitely utilizing those a lot better than some of the previous days. Definitely using what I learned and, applying it and doing pretty well. So we were doing well and on a nice little win streak when I got matched with an AFK teammate, thus ending the winning streak and making me the slightest bit salty. But this is what I signed up for, so it is what it is. But not to worry, the next set we won and got into Gold 3. I did it! I hit my goal! But I still had some time left in the night to play, so I carried on. After we hit Gold 3, we went back to the usual slow climb. People were just playing really well tonight, and I was definitely getting outplayed in a few matches. In particular, I'm looking at you Batman and Samurai Jack players, because when you run across a good one, it is just brutal sometimes. The only real highlight of this bit of the night was this combo I hit against this Steven. This one made me a little bit proud. I was pretty happy with this. Eventually, I got tired and decided to end the challenge. We ended the challenge in Gold 3 and, at the time of recording, the number 405th Superman, which made me pretty happy. I overshot my expectations like quite a bit, got over my rank anxiety, and I just really had a fun time. Sure, there was definitely moments where things got on my nerves and I got a little salty, but overall I think it was pretty silly of me to actually be worried about playing ranked. Like, it really isn't that deep. Like, I was a little weird. But now we're over it, playing ranked is pretty fun, and the challenge is over. Now, could I have gone further than Gold 3? I think so. I think if I had more time to play, or if I decide to keep playing Superman, I can definitely get into Platinum. But for now, after playing this game every night for a week, I'm pretty content with just staying in Gold for now. Before we wrap this video up though, I got some stats and a little message. As you can see on screen, we got some stats! I like numbers and I'm a huge nerd, so I decided to take some time and write down my stats after each session, add them together, and present them to you. Pretty interesting stuff, right? I mean, we played 150 matches, which I don't know if that's like a lot, but for me that's a lot. And this is it, the end of the video. But before we close things out, I want to say some stuff, and since it's my video, I want to hear from you all. What do you think of this video? How is the editing? Could anything be done to make it better? And if you could add any additional rules to the challenge to make it more fun or more interesting, leave a comment down below. I want to mold this series with everyone watching and make it something not only entertaining but truly special. But that's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Multiversus videos and challenges. And it lets me know this is the content you guys really want to see. So definitely, leave a like. Click that little thumbs up button. I'm Zululix, and I will see you out in the multiverse.